Same
Sorry,
way
Woody. That was for the ancestors.
I'm
Sorry,
sure I've stolen enough comedians' jokes.
No, he's apologizing as a fellow black man for what that barber did to you.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm saying he did that for the ancestors, bro. So.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. It was just revenge.
Have you ever looked at your ancestry, Woody, to see if any of your ancestors owned slaves?
You talking to me?
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
I don't think so. Well, so my father's side is very new. His parents came from England and Ireland. So boom. My mother's side was here like before the Revolutionary War, but they're from New Jersey. So I don't think they owned any slaves.
Well,
maybe they have. Were you wealthy?
You kind of had to have money to have slaves, right? So
yeah, you had to be like rich.
Aunt Jemima is this type of situation. I'm imagining maybe there's a mammy in the kitchen.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, I don't think so.
We'll get to the bottom of it.
Mayhaps, but I'm willing to put that on you. They're probably Wow.
Yeah.
Just in case, man.
Racist ass fucking Woody.
That's pretty awful. That hypothetical would be. That's pretty terrible, Woody.
My bad.
I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Sorry for what I guess.
I don't know how you go about finding out.
The chat was right.
My brother did some ancestry thing.
Little genealogy.
Yeah.
Well, there's a guy who interviewed.
Like, I don't think my dad's side of the family or my dad's mom, like the more Italian group, was even here until like the late 1800s, maybe early 1900s. But the other side, I think, is more English, French, and so they could have been here for a while. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know. I've just never spent the 4 minutes it would take to go online and be like,
nobody hassles Koreans about this shit. Their people owned slaves for way longer than ours did.
Dude, slavery is still in the world. You can buy slaves in Libya.
There are more slaves now than there were at the height of the American slave trade.
I don't doubt it.
Really? I've heard that theory before. I don't know if it's been proven or not, but it's like,
well, you just have to look globally. Like Africa has a shit ton of slavery.
And maybe you need to define.
Yeah, but it's well, that's the thing, right? You have to define different ways.
Not count those guys in Alabama on that work crew I sent.
Like, what's a slave? A prisoner?
Because remember, there are different slaves, different categories of slaves throughout history, right? Like, American slaves are a lot different than Roman slaves were, because Roman slaves you could work your way or buy your way out of slavery, where North American slaves are the whole different thing, right? So there's different evolutions of slavery throughout time. So there's a whole thing.
I doubt the Libyans are being chill to their slaves.
But like Abu Dhabi, right? They apparently have slaves. That work on their skyscrapers and such, but they're not the slaves like American slaves were.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Don't have the means to go back home.
It's like when there's Israeli slaves, right? There's they call slavery is like, if you go somewhere, there'll be like black nannies who go to like Israel or different countries, and then they take their passports from them so they can't leave, lock them up in rooms.
Yeah,
take care of them.
I think,
you know what I mean?
There's
Qatar different types of
with no,
it looks like American slaves can buy their freedom.
Yeah, they could. I remember
here we learned
about like some slave who bought his freedom in like 10th grade English. I don't remember what the book was, but he wrote it.
Yeah, some of the Northerners could do that. It was different. It was weird. It depends where you were.
I thought the North didn't have it.
Isn't that an indentured servant, not a slave?
Yes, if you can buy your way out of it, right?
Indentured servitude. Yeah,
they just made a law in 1839 that said you could buy yourself. And I don't think they wanted to redefine the practice of slavery. We didn't abolish slavery anyway. We just re-outlined when it could be applied, like because prisoners are slaves.
Prisoners, yeah.
And there's that picture I sent you guys the other day, and it's a chain gang of nothing but black guys being taken to a work farm in either Alabama or Louisiana, and the prison guard is a chubby white dude wearing a cowboy hat, riding a horse with a gun, and it looked so bad.
He's just having a fun time.
It was the worst. They all had hoes, Taylor, like manual implements. Like they weren't out there.
What were they hoeing?
I don't know. They were corn or
They were
something.
tilling the land.
They were tilling the land.
Yeah, there you go. Getting a little use from all the murderers in the prison seems like a good idea. We could make them make Happy Meal toys.
They don't let the murderers go work. They make the people on fucking drug offenses and child support payments work in a goddamn field. They do. That's who's out there. That's just some guy who got like me who was swept up in the fast world of marijuana, looking for quick highs and wild nights, playing Skyrim.
Playing Skyrim, spending hours and hours making thousands of iron daggers and leather bracers.
Away
my
my
smithing to
illegal duties.
100, for I needed
No,
bone dragon armor.
It's genuinely that, because if you had committed a violent crime, they wouldn't let you out on a chain gang work crew. That's a privileged position to be out there and be a fucking slave in that field. I know I didn't want to do.
Was
any
it
work
a
when I was
field or
there.
the side of the highway? That's how I imagined it.
They were being walked to a local farm to do agricultural work.
What? I don't think I grasped just how slavey it was.
And again, the prison guard is a white man with a cowboy hat riding a horse behind, I'm going to call it 50 black guys. All, I'm going to say prison work attire looks a lot like slave attire.
Mm-hmm.
And they've all got like...
Did the prison guard have a whip by chance?
He had a gun. And then like clearly there's somewhere where people could take pictures, which seems like super humiliating. I know when I can't remember which state. I was driving from like Texas back to Georgia. So it was one of those awful states in between.
The Bible Belt.
One of those, like Arkansas is such a nothing state. You don't even notice you were there. You're just in Louisiana or you're in Texas or whatever. You forget Arkansas even happened. But their crews wear those pink, I want to say it was pink and black stripes. They looked like cartoon characters. It was clearly a humiliation tactic that you have to wear a pink uniform and pick up garbage while and they were chained together. But they were chained.
Is it humiliation or is that just a side
They could have went with orange or green.
Yeah, I think it's a humiliation tactic.
Because if it was tan, there are regular people who choose tan overalls to work in. Like if an auto mechanic had tan overalls, I'd be like, that's what he's wearing to work. Maybe.
I've seen him do the thing. Remember the old movies when it would be black and white stripes, and they'd even have a little hat. The little hat would be black and white. That it was that pattern, but I think it was pink and black or something. They looked absurd. I just remembered driving through this little town and seeing them and being like, "Fuck!"
If a warden told me, "No, you don't get it. They escape from prison and they hide in the woods, and it's tricky to find them, so we put them in pink. We can find them via helicopter." I might buy it.
Maybe, but nobody else does that mean ass shit. They put them in orange.
Orange, yeah. Orange and pink. I didn't realize orange was so much less embarrassing.
What are you talking about? Pink.
It's pink?
It's a girly princess outfit they're in. Yeah, they're all in girly princess outfits.
Apparently, you don't look as dope in pink as I do. So,
Zach, my point here, Zach. Find me them prisoners wearing them pink ass suits. They're embarrassing as shit. Chain gang.
I see.
Personally, I look great in salmon, so I'm good.
Right?
A nice salmon polo shirt. But
they're not salmon. They're pink.
Oh yeah.
I don't know the difference.
It's the same thing.
Salmon is much more subdued. Pink, you want to think about like Barbie and like the brightest crayon in the box. Pink. That's not at all what I was looking for.
That guy looks dope, and that is fuchsia.
He looks fucking hard. He's like, yeah, I wear blood, so I wear red so the blood doesn't show.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it.
That's why I wear white.
That's why you're yellow.
This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like this is clearly some sort of clean and sober work group that these poor people have been forced into.
I wonder if they're even prisoners or if they're just doing community service on weekends. I guess
the stripes is crazy, bro. Interesting.
Look at this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's loud. You're not gonna blend into society like that.
No. People will know.
That's fucked up. Do you think the guy with the white suit has seniority over the others? Like he's earned his lack of stripes?
Interesting.
That's how maybe he's also in the
maybe
hospital.
He's a trustee. They got him in the middle too, so he can kind of like move the group around. I feel like,
or maybe the guys in pink are being transported somewhere, and the guy in white is not. Who knows?
He's handcuffed to him.
Is he? Are his hands handcuffed together? The white suit guy.
Yeah.
Look, he's connected to the guy in the back.
Everybody's connected together. They made a human centipede of.
Oh no, he's not. He just handcuffed to the two people. I keep my screen small, so I can look at the camera a little closer. Anyway, now that I have a full screen, Wolf? I see the hem of his shirt.
Yeah. I have a weird story about that. You want to hear that one?
Yeah,
no, I do.
maybe I'll wait for Tyler to come back. But when I
call him Tyler when he gets back.
Sorry,
it's okay. It's better.
It's funny.
It's an upgrade, and we like it.
But
I call him Tyler all the time
because that's my nephew's name is Tyler, and it's spelled the same way.
Is he white too?
Yeah. So it's like, so I'm just used to doing it that way.
Shit, that was supposed to be
when
funny.
I got arrested, though.
God damn it.